More silliness about Social Security. Does it get old? But hey, it's good. It keeps me employed, right? Because if I weren't here, you guys would all be jumping off bridges and I can't take anymore. We're running out of money. So if you're not following my YouTube commentary or community tab thing, you're wrong, because this is where we put a lot of fun. That's my version of Twitter. I'll never be on Twitter. You should not be on Twitter. It's a cesspool. Twitter's horrible. Anyway, but it's not Twitter. Elon Musk. Oh, get off Twitter. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple things. We got this guy right here. We got the Libertarian in Chief, some guy named Todd. Oh, there's Finney. What's he doing out there? Todd Hagopian, okay? And he says, he posts this on his Twitter thing, which I took it may post on LinkedIn. I can't remember. I found it on LinkedIn, but I copied it and posted it here. He says, by the time I am 67, it turns out this guy's 45, someone I think looked up. I don't know who he is. Over $600,000 will be paid into Social Security on my behalf. That money would have been worth $1.9 million if I'd gotten a 5% rate of return. It's gotten actually a word there, Todd. My annual interest would be $95,000. The government promised me $3,000 a month at 67, which is $37,000 a year. So he's griping he's not getting enough. He's making a fundamental mistake that everybody makes when it comes to Social Security, by the way. He's saying my money at $600,000, $300,000 that he paid in plus $300,000 employer would be worth $1.9 million. So that's inflated numbers, and then he's using today's numbers to say how much his Social Security will be. Like everyone does this. I did this until, when did I did this until like 12 years ago, something like that. Some guy hit me over the head with a 2x4 and says, "You're doing it wrong." I said, "What?" And that's when I started waking up to the fallacies even I had fallen for. Your old buddy Josh. You're not getting $3,075 a month at 67 there, Todd. You're going to get $3,075 a month in today's numbers. Then we adjust it with the average wage index until you're 62. Then we'd use COLAs as well. So this we're comparing future dollars to today's dollars, and you're saying how today's dollars are bad because future dollars are better. It's just stupid. Anyway, we got 84 comments on here, but a couple guys got how he got it so wrong. I can't remember if I pinned. Oh, right here. Oh, so this. Okay. Oh man, I did pinned it. All right. So I didn't realize he commented there. Oh, sweet. All right. So I want to show you how he got it wrong. But this is a good one here too. Sir, I gotta get my glasses. Sir Goonie said, someone already said the three components are Social Security income, disability, and survivor benefits. So supplemental security income, disability, survivor benefits, and retirement, 100%. It's insurance in multiple ways, including for inflation risk. I could not agree. That's 100%. So this guy gets it. So it's not just for your benefit. You're going to get it for your spousal benefit. You're going to get it for your survivor benefit. There's disability thrown in there and all that as well. It's just stupid. But someone else had got it on here as well. My man Dave. Your income probably, your benefit will be more than 31. Not to mention, your benefit will increase every year due to COLAs and AWIs. Exactly. Here's Mark. He's comparing today's dollar amount. Well, he'll get a 67. Absolutely. So he's dropping the ball there. You're not getting 3. So let's just do for simplicity, we're going to say a 3% adjustment, a cost of living adjustment. Remember, Social Security is divided in two ways. You got AWI, average wage index. That is the amount your wages increase, the overall wages for the working people from the age of basically until you're 62. All right, and then from 62, they use COLAs. An average wage index has historically been about 50 basis points or so above COLAs. So I'm 53. Our AWI went up, I think it was 5.3 last year, where COLA's only up 3.2. So we're getting a better deal in average wage index to increase our Social Security benefit. He's just looking at a statement saying, this is my benefit when I'm 67, without having any idea how the benefit is calculated for when he hits 67. This is benefit at 67 as of today's numbers. All right, so we're going to say $3,000 a month. What do you say, $3,067 or something like that is our present value. We're going to say he's 47 for simplicity. You're going to do 20 years. We're just going to use a 3% COLA. We're going to say zero payment. That future value would be $5,539. All right, so if you have 20 years, let me just make sure I got my numbers right there. Yeah, they're perfect. Yeah, so $3,067, present value, zero payment, 3% COLA, 20 years, blink. Yeah, $5,500. All right, so he's off almost by a factor of well, almost by a double, essentially. Not quite, but pretty close. All right. So then we got part 2 of Social Security silliness. And I'm going to show you here. Hold on a second. All right. Here's this guy who's been on the channel for a while, and I kind of think this, if memory serves, I think he's a veteran too. I think he might be serving right now. I can't remember, but I had this, I think he's in the military of some sort. I can't remember. I could be wrong, but I just, I was surprised to see him come at me so hard. I was like, wow. So he goes, I've had enough of this blathering about Social Security from this channel. The fact is, in less than 10 years, the government's going to have to raise the retirement age again and increase taxes, reduce benefits, or turn on the money printer even more and lie about inflation. Josh is stuck at how great Social Security is. Well, until it bites him in the ass, just like recommending Wellington and got too woke for him or whatever, says this guy. I was like, whoa. I said, wow, you're really mad at me. So this is when I saw the 10 hours go. So 9 hours have gone from the time he posted this. So I said, wow, you're really mad at me. And then he says, I'm not mad. I'm just, he kind of calmed down a little bit. And I'll leave it to you to figure out why he might have calmed down. But anyway, so this is just stupid. All right. So again, I've had enough of this blathering about Social Security. The fact is, in 10 years, the government's going to have to raise the retirement age again and increase taxes, reduce benefits, or turn on the money printer. All right. So the other guy's gripe is too little. This guy's griping that it's too big, that we don't have enough money to cover it. So I just want to show you guys something here. Let's look at the U.S. federal budget, shall we? Let's take a gander. Let's gander over here to the federal budget. And we got Sniffy Joe, and I don't know why he doesn't have a mask on. Isn't he worried, Joe? All right, so we have a $6 trillion budget. $6 trillion. All right, so let's take a look at where the money goes to, shall we? $6 trillion. Income taxes cover $2 trillion of that. Social Security and other payroll taxes cover $1.5 trillion of that. Corporate taxes only supply $371 billion. All right, so we got income taxes and Social Security. That's about 3.5 of the $6 trillion. The federal government's going to receive $4 trillion in revenue, but they got a budget of $6 trillion. All right, so where does the spending go? You want to take a guess? Let's take, interest on the $30 trillion of debt is the fastest growing expense. The CBO expects net federal interest to double by 2031 and triple by 2051. And interest is already a significant expenditure. I think the fourth of the line item, and the 3 line items I'm going to show you are mandatory spending, which is $1.2 trillion for Social Security, Medicare is $766 billion, and Medicaid at $571. I think the interest is actually bigger than Medicaid. So we got 1.2 going to Social Security, basically $800 billion to Medicare, $571 to Medicaid. I think the interest is above the Medicaid one actually now. And they say it's going to double, and by 2031, which would mean it'll be almost as much as Social Security. All right, so let's go to discretionary spending. What's this says? Military spending includes the Department of Homeland Security, DOD, obviously, State Veterans Affairs. All these military costs combined about $1 trillion. $1 trillion, roughly. So military is a number 2 line item after Social Security. All right, so we got Social Security coming in at number 1 at $1.2 trillion. Military spending is about $1 trillion. Medicare is number 3. Medicaid is number 4. Again, I think the interest is number 4 now, I think, if memory serves. But it's up there. It's one of the top 5. I know that. So I just want to know, Joshua Hedrick, if you are in the military, let's just say you're waiting on a military pension, where's that pension going to come from? Where's it going to come from? Because as you can see, between your military cost of $1 trillion, Social Security at $1 trillion, Medicare and Medicaid, that right there is the entirety of our income that we've made. We've only made $4 trillion. So military, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid eat up that. That's not even covering interest. So where's the other income going to come from there, Josh? That's a $2 trillion deficit we have now. $2 trillion deficit. As in 2022, let's say it's $1 trillion of deficit. That's the entirety of the military budget. So how's you going to get your pension? Where's that money going to come from? And let's just say you're not on a government pension. How much money are you relying on the federal government right now? You're not relying on anything? My butt. Where's that money going to come from? Where's the money for your Department of Education, the roads? Where's that money come from? So you're going to say you can't buy a car because the federal government can't afford this? I'm not saying the deficits are right or wrong. I'm just saying it is. Everyone and their mom wants to freaking bash Social Security. At least Social Security has somewhat of a funding source. Now, it's not going to cover all the expenditures, but it's going to cover a significant, the predominant amount, about 80% of the expenditures. Where's the military funding source come from? Is there excise taxes on freaking funding 556 NATO to freaking Ukraine? I don't think so. Where's the foreign aid coming from? Where's all the money coming from? Coming from the tax part, right? But there isn't enough taxes to pay that. So how does your pension, how does any of your benefits, how does foreign aid, how does any of the roads, how does the schools, how does any of this get funded? Oh, funds by taxes. So why only Social Security are you so upset with? It's weird. Social Security is the most solvent of them all because 80% is coming from revenue that it already gets. Where's the DOD's revenue coming from? I just showed you right there. They don't have any revenue. It's just the general obligations of the federal government. How come that's more secure? How come Medicare is more secure? How are you going to get health care? I'm going to go on TRICARE for life. Okay, where's that coming from? I'm going to go on Medicare. Where's that coming from? Where's your roads coming from? Where's your schools coming from? How come no one gripes on that? They just Social Security. It's the weirdest thing, man. Everyone hates Social. I got a call from, okay, that was Bernie. Everyone just gripes on Social Security. And then they'll say, well, they're going to reduce it. I was sitting there thinking, do you know what would possibly happen to the markets if they reduce Social Security? I wish I could invest it because if I invested my own money, I'd have a 5% rate of return. If you invested your own money, let's just put it this way, all right? If Social Security didn't exist, just hear me out for just a second. What do you think would happen? One of the best reasons ever the markets have gone up so well is that we haven't had to spend the money. We've been able to use Social Security as a source of income for so many years that we can allow our markets, our investors to continue to grow without having to tap into them. If Social Security is reduced, am I the only person that sees what happens to the markets? If Social Security is reduced, in fact, I'm going to do another video on this book I'm reading right now, The History of Social Security, it's History of Retirement. It talks about the beginning of Social Security. And you think Social Security is just there's an old age retirement plan? You're freaking nuts, dude. Social Security, the primary objective of Social Security was to provide for consumption to continue, spending, and to get older people off the payment roll so young people could take their jobs. That was what it was there for. It wasn't to give old people dignity in retirement. It's to get the old people retired so the young people couldn't find work to get a job. And so people could consume because that's what a Great Depression is. A Great Depression is when consumption drops off a brick like a brick in water. Consumption is declining. A depression is a fall in consumption. That's just a fact. And they said we got to increase consumption. How? The stimulus package, Social Security, and we got to get old people off the rolls, the payrolls, because all these young people who are pretty pissed off and they're raising families, they don't have jobs. That was the primary focus on Social Security. Now, you never read that in the congressional hearings because this is all done in the back before the hearings came up. And this is what this guy does. He shows all these various testimonies before the congressional hearings on approving Social Security. It's crazy. It's nuts. So think about it. We're going to get rid of Social Security. 25% cut in Social Security. 25% of income across. How many people are actually on Social Security? Let's check this out. In 2022, there are 66 million recipients of some sort of Social Security benefit. In 2022, there are more than 1.7 million disability and pension plans for veterans. 66 versus 1.7. 66 versus 1.7. Yeah. So let's subtract 2 million of those 66. We'll say the veterans also getting their Social Security. That's still 64 million people are on some sort of Social Security, and yet no one's talking about veteran benefits being withheld or being reduced, even though there's no money for it there. It's stupid, man. It's dumb. Does that look? The things at some point everything's going to crash. I mean, when I say crash, again, I'm not saying it's going to be freaking this fake black hole that everyone says, oh, my dark matter. I'm not saying that. It's going to shrink in a dark matter. I'm not at all. No one knows what's going to happen. No one does. So what are you going to do, Josh Hedrick? You're going to sit there and say, Social Security is horrible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to still work for 20 more years to put all my money in the stocks. Okay, and that's going to give you the salvation when Social Security collapses. So what's I got a military pension or a corporate pension. Okay, and that's going to give you salvation when Social Security collapses. Oh my goodness, it's so dumb. I'm gonna put it on FDIC CDs. Okay, so that's going to give you salvation when Social Security collapses. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how people can't get this. Social Security be the last thing to go, man, because there's 66 million people. The vast majority of them are voters, by the way. 1.7 million pensioners and disability claimants in DOD. I just got a bug flying around me. How does people not see this, man? And so the only alternative, other than the realize that there's nothing you can do about it, so you might as well enjoy what little time you have, is to say, I'm going to work longer because I can squirrel more money away. Well, where's that money being squirreled away to? It's FDIC. That's less safe than Social Security. Why? Because Social Security is literally government. I'm going to squirrel away into stocks. Okay, that makes sense. Now, if you want to work to pay down debt, I got no qualm with that. By all means, keep working to pay down debt. Once your debt's paid off, you can rely on Social Security. That's all you can do. What else are you going to rely on? Your own ingenuity. Yeah, you should. I mean, you should get skills to be able to fix stuff and barter. I get that. But I hear people like, oh, man, I'm just going to invest in the stock market because Social Security is going bankrupt anyway. Oh, man, I got my pensions. I'm okay. Where's your pensions from? Oh, they're from GE. Okay. They're from the military. Okay. Oh, it drives me up the wall. But look, man, I don't care what people do. People do whatever they want to do. I don't care. The issue is this guy, the first guy, the libertarian chief, doesn't know how to equate Social Security. Look, he's young. I was there. This other guy, I think he was pretty young too. He has this need to be in panic and fear of Social Security. That's fine. Keep working. Keep digging those ditches, man. I don't care. But I'm just like, dude, if you think Social Security is going to be the first to go, people are just crazy. It's just not. There'll be many things that go before Social Security. We'll get apt warning well before that. So what you should do is get your budget in line, pay down your debt, and maybe start seeing about not buying so many things that you don't need. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.